Most people don't train too little, they train too comfortably, and they hide that comfort behind volume. More sets, more exercises, more time. It looks like hard work, but nothing changes. If you've been lifting for months or maybe years and you still look basically the same, you are not broken. You're just spreading moderate effort across 20 sets instead of concentrating real effort into a few sets that actually matter. And before the comments go, "This will injure everyone," relax. I'm not saying walk in cold and try to die on your first set of squats. You still warm up properly, you still keep form clean. I'm saying your working sets need to be honest. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what 2 hard sets actually means so you don't butcher it. So how to warm up so you don't get hurt, and the simplest way to progress without living in the gym. And if this helps you finally get in shape, you can send me a gift. I'll accept it in the form of you not doing 15 exercises while scrolling Instagram between sets. Okay, first, let's talk about the problem. Because if you don't understand the problem, the solution sounds like total gym bro nonsense. Let me paint you a scene. You walk into the gym, you see a guy on bench press. He does 4 sets, maybe 5, and set 1 is just feeling it out. Set 2 is working weight, but he's still keeping it safe, like 7 out of 10 type of effort. And then set 3, he starts grunting a little bit, but you can tell he's still got a couple of reps in the tank. By set 4, he finally tries, but now he's tired. So the set looks a little bit like crap. Then he repeats this across, 15 exercises. So chest flies, incline, decline, cable crossovers, then some random push-ups for a pump. He leaves after 90 minutes feeling destroyed, but the weirdest part is he didn't do a single set that forced his body to adapt. He just did a lot of gym admin. And if you think I'm exaggerating, next time you're in the gym, just look around. Half the room is either sitting on the phone, chatting rubbish, doing a set every 4 minutes, and calling it high volume. That is not intensity, that's a long walk with weight. But here's the simplest way to understand it. Volume is like being busy at work. You can answer emails all day and feel productive or somewhat, but if you never do the one task that actually moves the needle, you've just been busy, but not effective. Most people train the exact same way. They hide behind being busy because being busy feels safe. And intensity is tough because intensity forces you to find out who you really are and is actually difficult to do. And most people don't want that. So here's a metaphor. Doing loads of comfortable sets is like sitting on a sunbed with the lid half open. You're there, you're warm, you're doing something, but you're not getting the result. You're not getting the tan. One proper hard set is like stepping into actual sunlight. It forces a change. Your body goes, all right, we're adapting to that. And that's ultimately the entire point of training. Not to feel like you're trained, but to create a stimulus your body cannot ignore. Okay, next I'm going to explain what actually grows muscle in normal human language, not some complicated science language. All right, what actually builds muscle? So muscle growth is basically your body being petty. You stress it, it goes, that was horrible. Then it adapts so that next time it's less horrible. That adaptation is the muscle. So what creates that stress, that force adaptation? It's not a nice pump, not just sweating, it's not feeling tired, it's mainly hard recruitment. And the set has to be challenging enough that your body has no choice but to bring in more muscle fibers, which usually happens when you're close to failure. Not that I could have done 3, 4, 5 more reps, but I stopped because I don't want to go anymore. I mean, close to failure. A moderate set is like a gentle alarm. You snooze it, you roll over, nothing changes. A hard set is like the fire alarm. Your body doesn't negotiate, it responds there and then. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you the solution, and I'm going to package it into something that you can actually follow without overthinking. So this is what I call the 2-set truth protocol, because 2 working sets don't let you lie to yourself. And here are the rules. Rule 1, warm up as much as you need. Working sets are only the truth sets, and I'm not counting warm-up sets. Warm-ups are like turning the car on and letting the engine warm. Working sets are when you actually drive somewhere. So yes, you warm up. No, you don't warm up for 25 minutes like you're preparing for the Olympics. Rule 2, 2 working sets per exercise. 2, not 5, not until the pump feels great. 2, because when you know there's no 4th set coming, you suddenly stop coasting and put the effort in. Rule 3, your 2 working sets must be in the honest zone. Set 1, you finish and think, yeah, that was hard. I could maybe do 1 to 2 more reps. And set 2 is basically you finishing and thinking, that was really hard. I really don't want to do another set of that because I'm pushing it very close to failure. If both sets feel easy, you not doing the method. You're just doing less and staying weak. Rule 4, progression is simple. Pick one of these each session. Either add 1 rep or add a tiny bit of weight. That's it. Don't reinvent your whole program every week like you're running a NASA project. Okay, next I'm going to tackle the biggest objection, injuries and warm-ups, because I can already hear the comments typing. If you're thinking, Lewis, 2 hard sets sounds great, but I don't fancy snapping my shoulder. Good, because the point of training is to get jacked and grow muscle, not to become a frequent flyer at a physio. So here's the warm-up system. The warm-up system I like to call the ramp system. It's super simple. So R is raise. Get your body temperature up for 2 to 5 minutes. This could be on the bike, the treadmill, rower, whatever. A is activate. Do 1 easy set for the muscle you're about to train. So for example, before bench press, do some band pull aparts or light push-ups. M is multiply. Do 2 to 4 warm-up sets of the actual exercise, gradually heavier, like 40% for 5 reps, 60% for 3 to 5 reps, and then 75% for 2 to 3 reps. P is perform, and this is now where you do your working sets. And here's the key point, warm-ups are practice. Working sets are the actual performance. If you try to perform without practice, you're gambling. That's why beginners sometimes get hurt copying the one warm-up, then all out to failure. And it's not because intensity is necessarily bad, it's because they skipped the ramp. This is like trying to sprint at full speed without jogging first. You might be fine, or you might pull something and spend the next 3 weeks trying to get over it. So yes, warm up properly. And no, being a beginner doesn't mean you train like a granny forever. It means you build skill and intensity gradually. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to apply this without living in the gym, including the simplest split you can follow. So here's the simplest way to run this if you're busy and actually want results. Option A is 3 days per week, full body, 3 sessions. Each session is around 4 to 6 exercises, 2 working sets each, leaving 45 to 60 minutes. Option B is 4 days per week, upper lower split, so upper lower, rest, upper lower. Similar idea, fewer exercises. 2 very good sets, and again, progressive overload. And if you're sat there thinking 2 sets can't be enough, here is the truth. If sets are actually hard, 2 sets will feel like plenty, trust me. If your sets aren't that hard, you can do 10 and it won't really matter. And that's why this works so well. It removes the hiding places. And this is why people say stuff like, when I switched to 2 sets, I stopped bullshitting myself, because the method forces honesty. By the way, if you want a plan you can follow that's already structured for busy people and gets you moving, click the link below for a completely free 7-day training program. Now, next I'm going to show you the 2 mistakes that ruin this method, because most people try it for a week, do it wrong, and then say it doesn't work. So mistake 1, they confuse 2 sets with 2 lazy sets. 2 sets only works if you're not coasting. If you're scrolling Instagram between sets and lifting like it's a warm-up, you're just doing less and hoping. And hope is not a training program. Mistake 2, they try to go to failure like an idiot. You don't need to completely max out like you're trying to impress someone on TikTok. You need controlled intensity. So most of the time you want 0 to 2 reps in reserved, which is perfect. On safer machines, cables or isolations, you can push that closer. If you're doing barbell squats alone, you don't need to die every set. You need to progress consistently. This is like driving fast. Fast doesn't mean crashing into a wall. Fast means controlled speed, staying on the road and getting there quicker. Now, here's the problem. Even if you nail this 2 truth sets idea, most people still don't get in great shape. Not because the training is wrong, but because they're doing the gym part right and the progression part is wrong. They don't know what to track. They don't know when to add weight. They don't know when to back off, and they don't know how to avoid stalling. So what you've watched today isn't enough on its own. If you want the next step, the simplest way to stay consistent and keep progressing without overthinking, click the link below for a 30 ways in 30 days to stay in shape. And if you want to know exactly what structure you should follow to drop body fat along with this, watch this video somewhere over here. That one will actually show you how to do this and simplify it into your life.